welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ashley, and today I'm doing another catch-up video talking about my tops and bottoms of 2025. So I did this last year for the first time, where I told you the top 5 books and then the bottom 5 books of my reading year, and I really like that format, so we're gonna do it again. I read 80 books in the year of 2025, and I am going to start with the bottoms, of course. So I went through all of my books and I found the bottom 5 books. Now, none of these were like completely terrible. These were just the ones that were the least liked, and they were all 3 stars, except for one was a 2-star. So we will go from the 5th least liked book down to the bottom book on my list. So number 76 on my list is Cold Eternity by S.A. Barnes. Now, I read Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes and I absolutely loved it so much. I have another book on my shelf by S.A. Barnes that I haven't read yet. Cold Eternity, this one is, I believe, either the second or the most recent book. I can't remember. I rated it 3 stars, but it was just kind of slow. Nothing really happened, and it was not my favorite S.A. Barnes book. So now I have the tiebreaker that I need to read to see if this is an author that I'm going to keep reading, or if Dead Silence was just a one-off hit wonder. So the next book on the list, which is just slightly less liked, was The Wedding People by Alison Espach. So many people loved this book. Someone in my book club chose this as our book club book. It was already on my shelf. Upon starting to read it, my friend Jenny was saying how depressing it is. Everybody else loved it, but one, I didn't think it was that depressing. I really liked how it turned out, but I just didn't care for it, and I can't really recall why. The next one on the list, going down to my least liked book, was The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society by Mary Ann Schaefer. This one is an epistolary novel, and it was really kind of hard to figure out who was writing, who it was going to follow the train of the story. And maybe that was because I was listening to it on audio instead of reading it in physical format. I ended up watching the movie, and I enjoyed the movie way more than the book. So that's one I would suggest just skipping reading and watching the movie. The next one down was An Academy for Liars by Alexis Henderson. I don't typically read fantasy novels. This is a dark academia. I don't generally read those either. Yeah, I don't really remember anything about this. I know I got it from the library and I did finish it. I think it's the first in a series, but I'm not going to be continuing on, obviously. I just didn't really care. And then lastly, in my list of 80 books, the one on the very bottom was With a Vengeance by Riley Sager. Now, apparently I'm not the only one who was very, very disappointed by this book. This was my first Riley Sager book. I'm not going to let that deter me. I'm going to try some more Riley Sagers, but I did not care for this one. And then I'm also finding that I don't think I like locked room mysteries that well. So that's probably part of it. Anyways, those were the bottoms. Well, let's switch gears and go to something a little bit more fun and go to the top 5 books that I read in 2025. Coming in at number 5, I have It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I know that Colleen Hoover is a very polarizing author, a lot more so on the side that people don't like Colleen. I don't think I've read anything except for Verity before this one, and I read both It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us, and I wouldn't say enjoyed this book, but I think it was really well written. And the story, people say it glamorizes abuse, but I don't see that at all in this. This one, the girl who was being abused was very good about setting boundaries, and I think that was a really healthy way to show this type of relationship. For that reason, I gave this 5 stars. The next one on my list was All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles. This was my first Catherine Cowles book, and honestly, the cover and the synopsis too, but this is just so pretty, caught my attention. And this one was for Lori's Lovely Library. She picked this as one of her book club books, and I was so excited. Really enjoyed it. There are a couple spicy scenes in this, and I just skipped over those because the rest of it I absolutely loved. This just gave me this, like, I don't know what kind of feeling. I can't explain it, but I did do a short on this and I loved it so much. I cannot wait to read some more Catherine Cowles. Next on my list, at number 3, was These Silent Woods by Kimmy Cunningham Grant. I was not expecting this at all because by the cover, it kind of looks like almost a spooky or thriller style book, and it's really not. It's more of a contemporary, slightly mystery type of novel. It's about a girl who grows up off the grid with her father. She's kind of starting to push her boundaries a little bit. Then something happens, and yeah, I just really loved this. It was very like homey and calm, and I just really loved that. I think the atmosphere is what really got me. Loved it so much. The next one, number 2 on my list, is The Perfume Collector by Kathleen Tesaro. This is actually a book I borrowed from my friend Kirsten, and she wanted me to read it and annotate it. I know I've mentioned it quite a few times on the channel in the past. We swapped books and kind of shown or talked about what I was doing with that. I ended up really loving the book. I didn't think I was going to like it, but it is a historical fiction dual timeline, and I do tend to love those. Had a lot of fun doing that. I think we're going to do the swapping and annotating friends books thing again, so that'll be really fun. And then number 1, the top book of 2025, I'm not surprised, so you should be surprised, is The Women by Kristen Hanna. There are no words for this. I loved it so much, and I want to reread it. I have no idea when that will actually be. I have yet to reread any Kristen Hanna book, but I just love her books so much, at least her historical fiction novels. And this one, I think, so far is the best one I've read of hers. I've read The Four Winds, I've read The Nightingale. Both of those, of course, were 5 stars, as well as this one. But this one, it has topped those 3. I want to read more. I know I have at least 3 or 4 more Kristen Hanna books on my shelf. Need to get to them, but I loved this. So those are the tops and bottoms of 2025 of all the books that I read. So let me know in the comments down below what your absolute favorite book was of 2025. If you can name one. If not, give me a couple. But anyways, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.